Hi everyone, I'm Mai Tran for SportNoSport.com. This is Controversial Corner, and with me I have former New York Rangers and Boston Bruins, Rick Middleton. Rick, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now, okay, let me see. I'll get this straight.
Okay.
19 years old, first round draft pick,
Right.
14th overall for the New York Rangers.
Yeah, very good.
All right. Now, tell us, what kind of pressure, if any, you were under being first pick for such a large market club as the Rangers?
Well, I grew up in Toronto, which was one of the original 6 teams, the Maple Leafs, and I got drafted by an original 6 team, the New York Rangers. Growing up, the Rangers, the Bruins, you know, there's only 6 teams, so I really liked them all. I was a huge hockey fan growing up. So to be drafted by one of the original 6, it was a dream come true for me. The only problem is in 1972, the Bruins and the Rangers played for the Cup, and the Bruins beat them, and I got drafted in 73, so the Rangers still had a good team because they had a Cup contending team. So I went to training camp. I didn't feel pressure. I mean, I was on cloud 9. I'm 19 years old. I'm going to my first professional training camp, only about an hour from my home in Toronto in Kitchener, Ontario. And I didn't make the team, so they were sending me to the minors in Providence, Rhode Island. I didn't feel bad. I was just happy to be playing. And I took off at 19 years old. I still have the picture of my hair down to here in my new Pontiac Grand Am. It was a 404 barrel in those days, not the Grand Ams of today. And my sunglasses on, and I was off to Providence, Rhode Island. My first time away from home and my first time in the United States. I'd never met Americans before. And I got a good awakening in Providence, Rhode Island, living in Cranston with 10 other single guys. So,
well, excellent. Well, no doubt the Rangers made a great choice with you. But then 2 years...
They might not agree to that because they traded me. But
right, exactly. 2 years later, you were traded to the Boston Bruins. Now, how was that moving over to the rival Bruins?
Well, it was a lot easier for me than, say, Brad Park and Jean Rattel, because those guys played against each other for many years. There was a rivalry, and I remember being around for that trade, and everybody involved in it thought their careers had ended because they hated each other's, not necessarily personally, but the team so much they thought their careers were at an end. I got traded to Boston. I didn't have any of that rivalry, and I was going from a team in 1975 with the Rangers that didn't make the playoffs to a Cup contender in Boston, and as it turned out, in the next year in 77, 78, we went to the finals against the Canadiens and lost both, but I went from not making the playoffs to the Stanley Cup finals 2 years in a row. So, you know, a lot of guys never even make it to the finals. So I wasn't happy to leave New York. I love playing for the Rangers. I think nobody wants to get traded from their first team. I love going back. I go back every year to Madison Square Gardens to catch a couple games. I love the place. I love New Yorkers. They're great fans. But coming to Boston was the best thing for my career. It was a great team. Got an opportunity to play. Got good coaching under Don Cherry and Jerry Cheevers and all those guys. And taught me the whole game, which ended up helping my career, and in the end got to play more and was able to put up the numbers that I did, and had 12 years in Boston, so I'm very happy.
Well, we're very happy, and you're definitely great. So now, tell us, what is Rick Middleton doing these days? I mean, what interests you, or what's your hobby that's taking up your spare time?
I don't have time for hobbies. I have a wholesale catalog business with a company by the name of CB Sullivan Company. When I finished my career, CB and I were good friends, and he owns the distributorship. Basically, it's a beauty business. We sell Matrix, Paul Mitchell, all the women's lines. My end of the business is to barbershops. It's a mail order catalog. Got me off the road, and he had all the products basically in the warehouse, had the network all set up. I put the catalog and the flyers together. I've been doing that for 19 years now, since 1989. I retired in January of '89, started in September. I just recently started a small dessert company. I had an idea to bring a dessert recipe out of Canada. I called it the Nifty 16 Dessert Bar, and recently I just got it into Hannaford's, 165 stores, so it should be in there right after the Memorial Day weekend.
Excellent. We'll be sure to try it. But we heard that you golf as well.
Yes, I golf, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but it's kind of peer pressure. I golfed a little bit when I was a teenager with buddies, but once I made pro, I was with the Rangers, everybody seemed to play golf, so it was like I had to. And of course they want to take their money from you because you're not very good when you start, so it cost me some money. But then I got better, and now coming to Boston, we're pretty unique in Boston that we have so many alumni, not only in hockey, but a lot of baseball players and football players around the area, and there's a ton of charity tournaments, and I get invited to so many. I try to play in as many as I can. I'm involved in 2 of them, or 3 of them actually, on my own. So knowing how to play golf not only is fun, but it's really helped us as players, including myself, help charities raise money, usually on Mondays in the summer, and so I've been doing that for 20 years since I've been retired, and it's a lot of fun usually.
So you're playing golf for charity events, but do you consider golf a sport?
I consider golf a sport. Yes, I do. I was just talking to Jerry about that, but you know, not everybody that plays sports are athletes, I don't think. So, but golf is certainly a sport.
Okay. What about auto racing?
Yeah, auto racing's a sport. Yeah. Anytime anybody competes and there's a winner, I consider it a sport.
So, give us an example of an athletic event that you feel that is not a sport.
Well, most athletic events are competitions, and there's winners and losers. So even bowling, you know, and even fishing, and now they have fishing contests, you know. So I think you could call any, you know, I haven't looked up the definition of sport in the dictionary, but I would imagine it would have the word contest in there, and a winner. And so anytime you have competition and somebody's going to win it, it's probably considered a sport, whether it's athletic in nature or not.
All right. Thank you, Rick. You've been wonderful. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. All right. There you have it. Hockey great Rick Middleton on sportnosport.com. I'm Mai Tran. See you next time on Controversial Corner. Till then, sport on.